So anyways, got ahead of myself. I already got the gas tank off, got the fairings off. I was about to get working on taking the headlight off, and then I was like, crap, I haven't filmed anything. Anyways, um, get the fairings off. It's just this bolt, and then of course you just kind of wedge it out. Well, it might help if I point it. Is this bolt, and you just kind of wedge out the fairing from right here. The seat is these two bolts on each side, and you just go ahead and just pull the seat back. It hooks on these little hooks right here. It'll just pull off. And the gas tank itself, it's just this bolt right here. You undo this bolt. Make sure you undo your gas line. After you undo your gas line, you'll have this last little connection. So when you get the gas tank up, you'll be able to hold it here and then unplug this. You can even rest it on this spot right here and be able to unplug this. You just kind of push down on the clip and it'll just pull off. I can probably show you. Yeah, see there, you just pull on that little tab and you'll be able to just pull it off. And that's the bolt I was talking about that you have to get. And of course here's the seat. So what I'm going to work on now is I'm going to figure out what wiring I need to pull out of the front. Once I figure out what wiring I pull out of the front, I'll have a better idea of which of these wires I need to pull out and keep, which ones I can just leave. Like, of course, the tail lights, all that stuff, I don't really need it. The only thing I really need is the choke, the throttle, so the throttle cable, not the throttle itself, and then this switch and button. And this is separate from the throttle, so at least I don't have to worry about needing to mount this somewhere. But this will all come off as one separate piece, and I'll be able to just, take that off with the motor, because of course I plan on having this motor being able to be ran when it's not in the bike, ideally. And I'll get into why that is someday, but right now, of course, I'm just taking the motor out. I haven't really watched that many videos. I'm not really sure what this all entails, but I'm pretty sure, of course, motor mount bolt, motor mount, and I know there's this one up here and then one more down here somewhere. From what it looks like, it's just gonna be that bolt right there, but I'm gonna figure out the wiring first. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and just take this front off and be able to kind of have bad lighting tonight. It got dark fairly quickly because of course it is good old winter time. But you just undo these two bolts and it does just pop forward. I do have an aftermarket little light in there. I'm sure I featured it in a video at some point in time in the past. Feel free to scroll through, look at my videos if you care. I don't think I have to mess with any of this stuff, so I can just leave that wiring there. But I do think it might be beneficial to just go ahead and get it out of the way. One good practice I do have is you just put the bolts back to where they came from, just so I don't lose them, because I've lost way too many bolts working on things in my days. Alright, so I'm gonna see how this cluster is attached, and then we'll go ahead and it just looks like it's gonna be some bolts. So I'll get my little universal, because I'm lazy to try to find what size I actually need. And see, that just made life so much easier. Just go ahead and get you a universal one. And I don't know how I'm gonna get to that one. This one's kind of in an odd spot. It's like they're all in a weird spot. And then, how am I gonna get this one? Like that. Come on. Well, there goes the headlight. Oh. Alright, so the cluster should come up now. And it does. Sweet. Alright. And I just realized that this will be actually a separate part. So this should be fun. Alright. So I did go ahead and disconnect the headlight I had and took a picture of it, of course, made sure that's good. I'm working on getting this off. So this is the O2 sensor that I put in. I'm of course going to use it on the next application. And since I'm using it on the next application, I started a little box. This screw is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Jeez, there we go. So I have a box where I'm going to throw all of the things that I'm keeping and reusing that don't have a good place. Like, good example, the cluster. I'll unplug the cluster from here and just throw the cluster in there too. And like I said, that the button up here, the start button, I'll just unhook that from the handlebar and put that whole thing in there, just so I can just get it to the point where this whole little loom can just fit through there and I can just undo it from the whole body. So I wasn't going to record it at first, but I figured it'd be a good idea. I'm just going to start unplugging the things that I know need to be unplugged. So this, of course, is the cluster, or no, that's actually the brake. Let me untangle that. So this is actually the brakes. It does have a little tab in here. You just got to peel back the little rubber boot. Got this tab, you just pull, pops off. This pops out too. That's nice. So I can just go ahead and tuck this to the side. Don't really need that. So when it comes to the cluster, this cable, the yellow, green, and red, is a speed sensor cable. So of course I won't really be needing that, so I'll tuck that to the side. And of course here is the loom for the, oh, there's another wire. Okay, that's the wire that goes back. So this is good. I just unplugged that. That's probably not ideal. Anyways, so this, okay, so this will just unplug from here. I was about to say, I probably need to label, I don't know if I can pull that out, but I probably need to label this part. Or no, it's got the rubber boot. It'll be easy to identify. But, oh my goodness, I don't want to break this. So what's weird is it looks like it's like glued in there. Like you can actually see like white, I don't know how well you're gonna see this in the GoPro, but there's like white residue all around it, like it's glued in place. So that kind of puts a dampener on my plans, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to fit this through the forks. I guess I'm gonna have to take apart the whole entire forks. Alright, I guess it is what it is. Alright, that just kind of complicated things, but that's fine. At least it's not part of the big loom. Since it's not part of the big loom, I can just have it dangling there and I'll just worry about it last. The main thing I am worried about is how to take off this. I know there's 2 bolts here. After these 2 bolts, I hope it just slides out and this mechanism just stays up here, because it wouldn't be really ideal if I don't have the key, because then I can't run the motor. But that's fine. So this is pretty much ready, other than the turn signals. I'll just pull these out, who cares. So this is ready. This, of course, I can move out the way. Well, this is ready. I can move this out of the way for now. Move the brake line out of the way. And then I will move on to this whole section. And the loom kind of looks like it just routes around. I'll probably need to grab some cutters so I can just snip these zip ties off. But yeah, we're making progress. All right, so I'm gonna work front to back. So right now I did fit it through the forks and I got it routed here. There's a little clip I just bent back. And now I've realized that this thing, whatever this is, needs to be unbolted. So I'll go ahead and get this unbolted, and whatever, there's something else on the other side. Whatever this contraption is, I'll get unbolted. Because I guess it's the coil. So I'll get that undone. I'll probably just pull this out, and then, you know, like I said, I'm just gonna go front to back because it's gonna just make it easier to figure out like which wires need to go, which wires don't, because that's basically just gonna run right here and it's gonna split off. I don't need anything from the back. So yeah, starting to look like good progress. So this cable here is actually the cluster, so I'll be able to just unplug, well, ideally just, what the heck, there we go, just unplug this. I need to break this zip tie, but oh, what is this? What is this plug? Huh. Well, I am not sure what that whole situation is. Well, I need, oh, it's because so I put a digital one in, so that's aftermarket. So I had to actually customize this. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, well, I will have to figure out. I guess I can just unplug this, because if I unplug this, but then this wire, dang. All right, well, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm pretty sure this is mainly gonna come all this. We'll see. So you have these little control modules that sit back here. I'll of course have to get those loose also. I'll probably have to move the air box just to get enough room. But then what I noticed is the brake cables actually are part of the loom too, so I'll have to take this whole section off, take all these off, all that fun stuff, and unplug the back lights. And once I unplug the back lights, we will be probably good to go, because I just need to remove the battery and this one part right here, and I should be able to remove the whole loom. Okay, so took out those bolts right here which hold on the rack, and the two bracket bolts here that I took off last clip. Brings us to the wire loom. As you see, I have a bunch of crap going on because I did put in those like Lamborghini looking ones. But yeah, I'll be able to just, unplug it, I guess. Just pull them out. These I taped up pretty good, but I'll just be able to unwrap that. Kind of look at the colors. Blue to blue. They all kind of match. Nice. Alright. I'm going to snip some more zip ties. Work this loom back. And like I said, once I get it right here, I'll probably need to remove the air box just to get enough room between here to kind of get the loom through. But yeah, it's looking good. Alright, so I have the front of the loom up here, the middle of the loom, which has the coil on it, and this was like the horn wires and all that fun stuff. Then I have over here the ignition, I believe, I don't know what this is, and all the battery cables, and all of the wires going to the motor are right here. So basically this loom now is, oh man, this is still, I still gotta detach that blue wire, but this loom is basically ready to be off of the bike, except for this power connection going to the motor. And I'm just going to leave it there because what's the use in disconnecting it when I can just leave it on. I did decide to just go ahead and disconnect this wire from the wire loom, just so I can just go ahead and just throw it all into this box so it's out of the way. What I'm going to switch to now is getting... So I started working on it a little bit, and I realized that these wires they go around each side of the bar. So I'll need to disconnect this, which is okay because I got to get the throttle anyway. So what I'll do is unhook the throttle, get that cable. That will just free up this wire. Then of course I'll move over and get the clutch or the choke from this side. And I believe that's really, I just need the push button start and throttle and then choke, and then I should be good. Yeah. So I went ahead and undid the 2 bolts at the bottom of the throttle, and this just kind of popped off. So I just wedged off this button, and of course it will go into the keep box. This kind of sucks, but I may be able to just reuse this. Oh no. Well, I'll need to find those screws, but I'll probably just be able to reuse this as the actual throttle for what I intend to use. So we'll see. Alright, so we just wedged this through the bars. So this is loose now. So now it is time to move over to this. So this will be interesting because I will need... Oh, I think it may just be undoing the screw, because really I just need the cable. I don't need the whole mechanism. Let's hope nothing bad happens here. Oh, there's a gear. Just let loose that wire. Ba-boom. Sweet. So I will try to figure out how this was in here. I think that's how it worked. Alright, so there we go. I believe. There we go. That was a little struggle. So now we're at the point where essentially, we are ready to basically pull the motor, because all this is unhooked. So that's the throttle, the clutch, or the choke. Oh, the clutch. I need to unhook the clutch. So I will probably just be able to unscrew it here. Yeah. So the clutch looks like it's just a typical situation. I will get the tools, get this undone, unhook the clutch, route the clutch. It looks like it just goes down that way, so it'll be pretty easy to get out. And then I will probably just call it a night. And then tomorrow morning, I will have this situated, because all I really need to do is unbolt it. And once it's unbolted, I'll be able to pull it out. And I'd rather just do that tomorrow morning, probably outside, just because it'll be easier. So as I mentioned, I'll get the clutch wire, which is this one. I'll get that unhooked. Oh, I can't see that. This one. Since that's unhooked, I remember I need to get this cable for, or the key, and all it is a number 6 Allen and these 2 little bolts. So as you see, just undo that, which concludes basically everything wire related I need to get. I can get this thread back in. Nice. So, since I got all that, the only thing really left now is to undo this plate, take off the shifter, and then undo the back tire so I can move it forward to undo the chain. So I'm gonna go ahead and find the right tools to get all this off and work on getting everything off. All right, so I took out the bolt for the shifter. Of course, it's not the bolt that came with the bike. I somehow lost that one, but shifter goes in the keep box. I do have, so to get this plate cover off, or I guess the gear cover, you just gotta undo this bolt here, and it's an 8, and then I'm not sure how good you can see that, but there's a bolt right here, and then once you get both of those out of the way, you just kind of wiggle this and move it out the way. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and undo the back, and I'll be able to kind of just pull the chain off. Actually, you might not be able to. I might actually have to take off the gear to just do that. I'm gonna try to take off the gear, see if I can get it that way. Right, so you just get a 10 mil and undo these bolts. And I do have a 17 sprocket in the front. I believe the stock one's a 15. So I do anticipate my little theory about hopefully I can just pull this off. And if you didn't see that, you just got to twist it and pull it off. But hopefully I can pull this sprocket off enough. Yes, perfect. So, oh, that's good. So I'm going to actually put all this back on. So I'm going to reposition the bike and make room right here for the motor to sit. Did go ahead and remove this one bolt. It was a 14. I put the wrench on the other side. I've loosened a lot of these. I haven't loosened the ones touching the engine yet, or this bottom one. I'll do this bottom one last. My plan is I'll probably undo this one and the very top. Make sure that no wires are going to get caught. And then I guess just undo the motor mounts and let the bolts hold it in place. It'll be interesting. So I have undone and moved out of the way all of the brackets, this one and the top one. Over here I just have the bolts loose in there just to kind of hold it structurally. And the last bolt I need to take out is this bottom one. You probably can't see it well. It's this one right here. And I may need to get an extension. Yeah, I'll need to get an extension. So there is a bolt down here that I forgot about, that I didn't know about, I should say. So that bolt is now officially loose. The nut is off of it. The motor, I don't know if I can make it move, but yeah, see, the motor is literally just held in by that one bolt. So my plan is I'm going to lift up, pull out the bolt, and then try to shimmy this onto the little tire I have. We'll see how well this goes. Probably not very, but it'll be all right. So the engine is officially out. Now that the engine is out, I'm gonna call it a night. It is dark outside. So I will go ahead and wrap it up. Tomorrow morning, the plan is to start on the new project. But of course, this is the wrap up of removing this engine. It wasn't really that hard. I say the hardest part was the wiring, but I mean, it's really not that bad. So tomorrow morning is the start of the new project.